Mikey McCoy was a Google search topic for citizens in the state of Israel at a very particular time. Bro, the guy that asked the question was searched in Israel. The surgeons, the police, the security, the hospital, George Zinn, everyone.
And do you know what W925S Street is? Well, it's not Mikey McCoy's address, but it is where the gun was found.
No way.
Like literally where the gun was found.
What I'm about to show you is probably going to shock you. There's an individual named Mikey McCoy. Mikey McCoy is the chief of staff of TPUSA. He was the chief of staff TPUSA when the horrific tragedy at Utah Valley University took place. Now, Mikey McCoy, his father is Pastor Rob McCoy. Now, Pastor Rob McCoy gave this sermon talking about the tragedy involving Charlie Kirk and what his son was doing during this tragedy. And I want you to listen closely because what we're about to break down is going to expose just how much of a farce everything Pastor Rob McCoy has to say.
And I'm watching, the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, "Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray."
He said that Mikey, his son, called him the minute that Charlie was shot, said, "Call every pastor and pray." Charlie Kirk's wife said that Mikey McCoy called her at that exact moment. So who is it? Who's telling the truth here? You'd think that the chief of staff of TPUSA in a moment like that might be calling a nearby hospital saying, urgent, urgent, urgent. Maybe he thought the police would take care of that. Police were on site. Maybe they had an ambulance on site somewhere, but not obviously close enough to Charlie. I don't know. You'd think he'd be like making those sorts of calls. But instead, he said the moment it happened, he called him, his dad.
Why didn't he check the roof? I don't know. I do know that they do. I know they have a limited detail. President Trump was shot, Kennedy was shot, RFK was shot. Where were they? There's some things, no matter how hard you try, and especially with Turning Point growing exponentially and trying.
Not the best examples to point to here. You're talking about well orchestrated state level involvement of the assassinations of JFK and RFK, and you're like, it just must have been their security detail wasn't prepared. No, their security detail was in on the job. Let's not make comparisons like that because if you just have the smallest understanding of the history of those events, how the CIA was involved, how Israel was involved, how the mafia was involved, you'd know that this was not just a simple lone shooter scenario.
Trying to figure out the dimensions of what to do? And how are they supposed to get on a roof when the campus police have the keys to all that? Just calm down. And I'm sorry, what's the latest one for all you anti-Semites? The Israelis put a hit on him? Oh, please. Just take your hate elsewhere.
Pastor Rob McCoy was also in the group chat where Charlie said he was leaving the pro-Israel cause, calling all of us conspiracy theorists and anti-Semites of telling us Charlie was leaving the pro-Israel cause. Wait, what? This guy was in the group chat that we all saw where he said, "I'm leaving the pro-Israel cause," and he's saying that it's anti-Semitic to question whether or not that actually took place, a text message that he received.
There's no credence in any of that. You had a man raised in a God-fearing home that got twisted and indoctrinated.
Stop asking questions, guys. Just listen to Kash Patel.
And everyone who is...
Now, here's what actually happened. So Mikey McCoy, he was there at Utah Valley University. He was with Charlie. He was in the car ride with him early in the morning, headed to the event. And Mikey McCoy was actually directly kind of behind and to the left of Charlie, looking out at the crowd to the left of Charlie when the tragedy took place. Now, I want you to take a close look at this because Mikey McCoy, who Rob McCoy, his father, said called him immediately the moment that this took place and said Charlie's been shot in the neck. He has a very weird reaction to this tragedy. We're going to watch it slower. But that's him walking away right there. Just walking away. And if you can see, he's actually on the phone. We're going to watch it in slow motion. Walking away. In Charlie's greatest hour of need, his chief of staff immediately, he doesn't dial the phone. You're going to see he picks the phone up to his ear. So the phone call was already happening. He picks up the phone to his ear and he just walks off. Chief of staff. Now take a close look at this. You're going to see right here. Charlie hasn't fallen over yet. No blood is visible to Mikey, who's already turned. And here you'll see him just walk away. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Walking away on the phone. Strolling away like nothing just happened. Like Charlie Kirk was not just hit. Just walked away. What is that? Note how Mikey doesn't even flinch. Instead, he reacts by pulling his phone up, no hesitation, doesn't even dial. Was the signal already live? What's suspicious about it is not just that he walked away, but also this right here.
Someone went to Barron's live stream and said, hey,
Mikey McCoy was a Google search topic for citizens in the state of Israel at a very particular time. Not only that, Mikey McCoy's home address was a particular search subject for citizens of the state of Israel, as well as other key and interesting places like the Cayman Islands at a very interesting time. Take a listen to what Ian Carroll has to say here.
And lo and behold, there's a Google trend showing that on the 14th of July, someone in Israel searched for Mikey McCoy. That's interesting. But then on August 15th, Mikey McCoy was searched in the Cayman Islands, which is weird. And then on September 6th, 4 days before the assassination, someone in Israel searched Mikey McCoy's home address verbatim.
So Ian Carroll has compiled all of the search results involving Mikey McCoy and other key individuals in this case. And why is it that someone from Israel was searching Mikey McCoy's home address
4 days before the assassination?
4 days before the tragedy, Mikey McCoy's home address is searched from Israel.
Someone in Israel searched Mikey McCoy's home address verbatim, like street, like house number, street name, complete.
Is that not the craziest thing you've ever heard? Why is there someone from Israel searching up his exact home address 4 days before the shooting?
Very specific search in Israel. All that is very weird. When Barron does these searches, he also shows, like, he'll show that same search in New York and California and Arizona and the United Kingdom and Australia to show you that all these other places, no searches. But then in these places, searches, which is all very weird. And so this is where I started to realize that putting all these searches onto a timeline might tell us something interesting.
So this is why you're going to find out that the timing of all of this is extremely suspicious. Because the timing from Israel, from the Cayman Islands, from Mikey McCoy and other individuals involved, just so happened to correspond with the Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith, TPUSA event, which Charlie Kirk received a lot of criticism for hosting.
They all cluster around this 2-week window, sort of in the middle of July of this year is when the most searches happened. And so I'm sort of thinking, well, what happened around July 20th? Like, what was happening in Charlie Kirk's life and in TPUSA's life and in Israel's life? And in, like, what was happening? Charlie Kirk was in Florida at the TPUSA event hosting a debate between Dave Smith and Josh Hammer, where Dave Smith made Josh Hammer look like a fucking idiot and made the entire pro-Israel cause look ridiculous.
So it all corresponds right around that time.
And then the next day, on July 14th, Tucker Carlson headlined the main stage for the closing night of the event. And we know from Tucker's reporting, Candace's reporting, and kind of Dave Smith's reporting too, that a conversation happened backstage before Tucker went out on stage where he said, listen, I know that you get all this shit from donors, and I know that they're all over you, and I normally talk about Israel and about Jeffrey Epstein and all these things, and I'm not going to go hard on it. I don't want to bring more trouble on you. I'm not going to do it. And Charlie said, no, go all the way. But then they explode. That very day, the 14th, not even before the event is over, that's when Mikey McCoy gets searched in Israel. Then, that same day, a guy named Richard Rasmussen gets searched in Israel. And who is Richard Rasmussen? Let me reference my other sheet over here. He's one of the surgeons at Timpanogos Regional Hospital. 2 days later, Timpanogos Regional Hospital is searched in D.C.
Oh, what is going on? This random Utah hospital is getting searched from Israel on July 16th. The same time that Richard Rasmussen and Mikey McCoy are getting searched from Israel, right after this TPUSA event with Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith. Is that not weird? Are we not allowed to talk about this?
And then, that same day, in D.C., someone is searching for Bo Mason, who is the commissioner of the Utah Department of Public Safety. On the 18th, Stephen Nealman is searched in Israel, then Lee Patterson, then Catherine Nestor, then George Hodgson Zinn. George Zinn was searched in D.C. Brian Gill searched in Israel. Robert Patterson searched in Israel.
Stop asking questions.
Lossie Center searched in Israel. You guys don't know any of these names. You've never heard of any of these names. Stephen Nealman, Lee Patterson, Catherine Nestor, Brian Gill, Robert Patterson, Lee Trotter. Who are they? Well, Catherine Nestor is Tyler Robinson's lawyer. And someone was searching for her name in Israel. Not in the UK, not in Australia, not even anywhere around the United States, just in Israel. All these other names, these are all surgeons that work at Timpanogos Regional Hospital. A few of them are involved in the police force in the area of the shooting. Schaefer Security was searched in Israel, which is like maybe just noise because Schaefer Security wasn't actually Charlie's security outfit anymore. They'd stopped a long time ago. Hunter Kozak, the guy that asked the question when Charlie was shot.
Bro, the guy that asked the question was searched in Israel. The surgeons, the police, the security, the hospital, George Zinn, everyone.
He was searched in Israel on August 3rd. That's weird. If you recall, we have video of Hunter Kozak apparently practicing his oh shit expression before the shooting happened, and then being very oh shit melodramatic at the moment of the shooting. But Hunter Kozak is actually part of an organization that is dedicated to trailing Charlie Kirk on campus tours and then trolling him in the questions from a left-wing perspective. Hunter Kozak is
bad day for the propagandists. Bad day for the propagandists. Bill Ackman not gonna like this.
Like opposition to Charlie official. He's very vocal about how he feels about Charlie, and he's part of an organized offensive group to counter Charlie Kirk at the time. Some other interesting stuff about him too, but we don't have time for all of it. But what I'm trying to show you is that just so happens that this massive explosion in search trend data happens right after the TPUSA Florida event.
What is In1098L? What is that? Is that the plane?
Where it becomes pretty apparent, but that's not the only home address that got searched. On September 7th, 3 days before the shooting, someone in Israel searched W925S Street. That is a very specific search.
What is that?
Right? And I see in the chat, someone just said like 9 billion searches a day, for fuck's sake. Yeah, but none of them are for this. And we know that because when you look up W925S Street, look all over the country. Look at every jurisdiction. Look at other countries. Look all over the world and see how many Google searches are done for that exact order of letters and numbers. And do you know what W925S Street is? Well, it's not Mikey McCoy's address, but it is where the gun was found.
No way.
Like literally where the gun was found.
They searched that in Israel.
It is this tiny stretch of road from about here.
No way.
To about here, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4.
How are they allowing this Ian Kiro guy to stay on YouTube? This guy exposes everything. How do they allow this guy on YouTube still?
5, 6, 7, maybe 8 houses.
No way.
And the gun was found right here. 3 days before the shooting. Someone
before the shoot. This is my first time seeing this video. This is insane.
Around the world is searching for an address in this little town in Utah. I mean, it's not a little town. It's attached to Salt Lake City.
The FBI should immediately, if they want to avoid any scandals right now, immediately hire Ian Carroll, Candace Owens, and whoever helped put this Google search trend together. Oh my God.
But bitch, please. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
And then on July 11th in the District of Columbia, someone searched 683 W925S Street. That's a pretty specific location. 683 is this house.
No way.
That's the chicken coop right there.
No way. Bro, does he talk about what the 910 thing is? What is that?
But I highly recommend that you go and watch Baron Coleman's stream for yourself. You want to give any credibility to all that.
What is N1098L? What is that? N1098L. Let's see if we can find what that is. I'm sure someone uncovered it. Is that the plane? Oh my gosh. There's no way. So someone in Israel, before this all went down, they searched the plane number. That's the plane. That's not good. Aircraft N1098L. U.S. Army contracted, allegedly loitered within visible range of Charlie Kirk's assassination while it happened. That's the one that turned off its transponder, owned by that Shabbat Lubavitch Major. Wow. We're looking a little bit too closely, folks. We're looking a little bit too closely, but that is maybe some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. Now, Mikey McCoy also shows up in Google searches from Cayman Islands IP addresses the day before this took place, September 9th. However, Charlie Kirk himself is absent from Cayman Island searches. Many others of our cast characters also show up. Deirdre Amaro, George Zinn, Hunter Kozak, Tyler Robinson in Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands the day before. But that's not even half of it. Photographers, videographers, security, legal team, Brylan Hollyhan all show up in the Cayman Islands the day before. Wow. Listen, stop asking questions, though. Just refer to whatever Kosh Patel told us last. Lots to unpack. Hopefully, Candace Owens has more answers for all of us, but that is absolutely insane.